Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dusted on Gaming with match number 4 of episode 2 with Temur Phoenix in Modern. This is Ryan Overturf's week deck list from this past weekend at the SCG team event. As a reminder, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider giving us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and comment down below. Alright, so we've already played 3 matches with this deck. This will be the 4th match you guys will see. Not really sure how I feel about the Traverse Mistress Bauble package yet. There's a couple of things, like the extra shock lands in the mana base, the fact that did away with the Pyromancer's Ascensions. Both those factors have come up in the matchup against the mono red archlight. The extra damage we're taking from our lands. And against Control, the fact that we're not running Pyromancer's Ascension came up against Blue-White Control in match number 3. So, the Traverse package I think is really cool, and I think it's a unique idea. I just don't know that either A, it's not pushed far enough, or B, well, it gives us more copies of virtual threats. It actually slightly makes us less threat dense, but, you know, Blue-White tends to do that to you. They will run you out of threats sometimes. So I'm not going to go too overboard on that, but we did lose one match because I ran out of threats, partially because I tacked into a Settle the Wreckage, because my opponent was playing, it looked like actual traditional Blue-White Control. I mean, all 3 matches have been very, 3 close games. Well, 3 games. I wouldn't know if the Hardened Scales Affinity matchup would... Game 2 and Game 3 weren't exactly close, but, I mean, each match has been 3 games, and it felt like we had play in every game, so definitely pretty sweet from a gameplay standpoint, maybe not necessarily from a results standpoint. But I mean, we've been playing around with decks. We played against Mono Red Phoenix, we played against Hardened Scales, we played against Blue-White Control, all of which are relevant in the modern landscape, so it's nice to see how the changes in the archetype kind of flesh out against particular opponents and what they're trying to accomplish. So, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of only one Crackling Drake, and some of the sideboard selections feel really narrow. Like, Rending Volley feels like it's solely for the mirror match, but I also saw the mono red Phoenix deck have them for the mirror match with Thing in the Ice and Crackling Drake. I think it's been since Splinter Twin was in full force that we've seen Rending Volley be in sideboards, so, I mean, for those of you that want Splinter Twin unbanned, it's kind of a scary thing that there's a deck that currently forces cards that were only sideboardable against Twin back in the format, so. Seems fine. It becomes great if we find a Faithless Looting, so. Ooh, Living End or some type of that nature. Might be Death Shadow. Looks like it could be Death Shadow. Yeah, most likely Death Shadow of some style. Looks like Jund Death Shadow. Having some issues with the old mouse here. I'm going to 13 on turn 1. That's kind of scary. Probably takes... I would guess they take Serum Visions here. One of the Metamorphoses. Fair enough. I'm grabbing here. Okay, we have access to all of our colors. As awesome as another Arclight Phoenix would be, having to spike a Faithless Looting into other stuff would be kind of miserable here. So, Traverse, sure. So it's the pseudo traverse mirror. That reminds me, I still have a traverse infect list I don't think I've ever tried. The random things you think of sometimes. So we have no idea what's on top of our deck. We really want a Faithless Looting or a Lightning Axe to get stuff in the graveyard here. Feels like an Inquisition. Yeah, we're going to lose our Manamorphose here, which really effectively means we can't play any Magic for a while. Alright, I mean, it's a play, I guess. Sure. It's a 5/6. Alright, well. I have to chump block this turn, and then hope to get lucky, I guess. They have a Fatal Push here, we're dead anyway. Alright, looks like we might get brutalized by Death Shadow here. Death Shadow is probably a Blood Moon matchup. And then Lightning Axe, get these gut shots out of our deck. Beyond that, Macabre could potentially disrupt what they got going on, but that's these are too cute of cards to bring in, so try it like that. Had some fun interactive Magic, and then we ran into Jund Death Shadow here, so. Sorry for the cough. He at least does give us other ways to potentially win the game here. Put mulligans to 6. Presume we're going to get Thoughtseize, so I'm not going to activate anything here. Play around stub if they happen to have it in their deck. Well, that's a punch in the how do you do? Oh, it's going to make the game a lot harder to win. Our opponent now knows about Megas, so they can play around that. In case the off chance we can mill their forest or something. I guess you take Lightning Axe here, so you either have your basics in your hand, or you're gonna get Blood Moon and don't care. Or you have Bolt, whichever. Guess you had Dismember. Fair enough. Alright, so we're running out of threats. They like have another surgical here. Sure. Do I even have... Nope. And that's our last cards. Temur Battle Rage. We're dead here. Alright. Barely got there in game 2 here. Whew. Close one. So our opponent bringing in surgical extractions. Does that really change the equation here? Really think trying to fight that stuff with this spell might be a little ambitious, so let's do what we can here. Hand's a little okay, a little bit slow out of the gates. Have 2 cantrips plus a traverse to find the land if we absolutely have to. Excuse me. Do we really want to draw one of those? draw it anyway. Good old, whatchamacallit, bug. Gonna get hit by a really fast Tarmogoyf here. Probably take some Morphos or a Traverse here. I mean, presume our opponent has an answer, right? If they have Battle Rage, they have Battle Rage. Inquisition kind of blows up our plan, unfortunately. Sure. Drop us to 2. And then cast the Phoenix because it's the least likely thing there to have an answer for with that combination of mana. Guess they could have Fog. Alright. That was a close match. Got there on the back of double Phoenix. So this has been us for Dusted on Gaming. Now 2-2 in this league.